Welcome everybody. Tim Bart's here, McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. How's my audio? Looks good. So, by the way, I plugged my mic in like 2 minutes or 2 seconds right before the thing went live. I looked over, had no lights in my mic. So welcome everybody to the live stream. I want to welcome in all the subscribers, all the members that are in here. Thank you all. I love seeing the green and the blue and all the members. Colors light up with all those logos beside them. So a lot of members. We're up to 126 members as of I think Monday. So welcome to the members that are in here and the subscribers as well. I don't want to forget them. Now I do remind you that this is being recorded as a audio format and a podcast. So you can find us on any of the different podcasting platforms if you want to listen to this later. You can do that. You can catch it on. We post it onto Podbean, but you can find it on Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, Amazon Music, all those right there. In fact, that just reminded me, I was on a podcast last Thursday that actually went live, and I was going to give you guys a link in there. Maybe I'll add it to here later, but it was called The First Pencil. So it was a fun, just kind of it's more for sales related than anything, but it was kind of what I'm doing here at McArthur that's impacting and helping us drive sales and such, and helping us with interaction with the community and different things. So just kind of things that I'm doing out there, and it's fun, but didn't do a podcast on Thursday with them. Also, don't forget, if you're not subscribed though to the YouTube channel, hit that red subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That gets you notified next time we have another video uploaded to the channel. And we're going to be uploading a lot of videos this week with the release of the 2023 F-150 order guide. More information. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But also, for if those of you that want to become a member, you're not a member already, you can find that join button on our channel homepage there, or on any of our videos. You can see that join button if you're on a Google device, or come to find out, or if you're on an Apple, an iOS desktop device, you can. But a lot of people found out that you cannot find it if you're on an iOS Apple device, and so here's how you do that. So if you are on an iOS, whether it be the app or the mobile website, you cannot see the join button right beside the subscribe. You don't see it, right? But if you click on the little and big A in the left hand corner up there, and you go down to the request desktop website version, when it refreshes, you'll have that join button there, and then you can join that way. So for those of you that are on iOS, you've asked, hey, I can't see the join button. It is not there if you're looking in the app or whatever. But if you do go and request the desktop site, it's only available on an iOS on the desktop site. So that's where you'd find that join button. So feel free to do that. Also, if you have any questions after this, you're not able to get in there, or you're listening or watching this later, don't forget you can send those questions to fordvideoguy@gmail.com. Sarah's helped me catch up on a lot of those. I think we're up to about 33, but I had her editing videos today. We'll get those caught up, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit, how I'll get those caught up. And if you have any sales-related questions, go to timothybarts@gmail.com. If you sent me an order or a pre-order recently, I do have those in there. Haven't had a chance to go through and print those out and give those out to the sales guys yet. That'll be a big focus tomorrow to do those and get those caught up. So you should probably get connected with somebody tomorrow if you have those pre-orders in. But we still have plenty of time to be able to put those orders in. So I wanted to update you on that. And let's see what else. We do have some recent videos. Yesterday we had the what's new on the 23 F-150, so we went through that. In fact, we'll kind of go over that in just a little bit of some of the things. We'll break it down in here real quickly, but more detailed in that video if you want to check it out. I did not link it in the description. Just go to our YouTube channel. You'll find it. And also, upcoming videos, we're going to start working on the 23 F-150 order guide. I'll do my complete guide videos that I normally do. I've already recorded the XL trim. Real surprise on all the things that are standard on the XL trim. We'll also be doing the XLT next, and then we'll get into probably the Lariat trim, and then we might skip to the Raptor. And then next week, we'll probably do the upper trims, because it looked like there wasn't a lot of changes to the luxury trims, like the Platinum, King Ranch, and Limited. So I'll probably save those for next week, since there's not a lot of differences there. But there are a new package in the XL and the XLT, and the Raptor's changed. So I want to make sure I get those three recorded. And to be honest, most people will get an XL, XLT, or Lariat trim more than the others. Just those are the most popular trims, so I'm going to cover those first. Also, don't forget, I'll be doing some videos on my personal YouTube channel, because this came in this week. Okay, that came in. There we go. My 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning came in this week. That is smoked quartz. If you're wondering the color there, and which we're going to talk about, it's going to be a discontinued color for 23. So I'm glad I received it. And this is a phenomenal vehicle. I got a chance to ride in one, but man, to drive it, that thing is just, it's a phenomenal vehicle. So they've knocked out of the park on that particular vehicle. And so I haven't had to charge it up yet. And of course, it's only been a week. But it was fully charged when I got it. But there you go. That came in this week. So we'll be doing some videos on my personal channel, Ford Video Guy, if you want to go over there. And eventually, hopefully, I can go on a trip. It might be this fall before I do that. But we'll go on a trip, and so you can get some video footage of that and how that works. Don't forget, oh, and also this week we will not be going live on Facebook on Thursday night, just so you guys know that, because I'll be going on a trip. So I'll be on a plane on my way to Detroit on Thursday, because we are doing a tour of the Roush factory, and they wanted our input on Ford Maverick information. So they were wanting to get some input. They know that we sell a lot of Mavericks, and being one of the top Roush dealers, they wanted our input on some Roush packages and what we think that the community would want in a way of a Roush package for the Ford Maverick. So we're going to be there doing that. So we're going to do a tour, kind of talk to them a little bit about that, and then just jump on a plane Saturday morning and come on back. So a very quick trip. But we'll be flying up there on Detroit on Thursday night, and I will be going live on our Facebook page. We have a McArthur Performance Facebook page, and I'll probably be doing a live at the factory then, but also get some video footage and photography and everything while we're there too. And then don't forget about the event coming up August 13th. We're only a couple weeks away from that now. So at Lakewood Park, so you want to make sure if you're able to come to that, do come to that. It'll be a lot of fun. We have a lot of things planned. Starts at 11 a.m., but we're going to have food trucks there. We're going to have Zorb balls. We have rock climbing wall. There's a lake there, so you can bring your canoes, kayaks, fishing poles. There's those nature trails. If you want to go on a walk and have a break, you've just had it with looking at Mavericks for a little while, go on a nature trail and come back, and then you'll be ready to look at Mavericks again. So if you do have a Maverick, bring it on. Drive up. If you don't, just come anyway. And we're gonna be cutting a commercial here locally for people in Kansas, so they know what's going on. So hopefully we get a lot of attendance there, and it'll be a lot of fun, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. And I will be having G Fuel, and so. I ordered a bunch of G Fuel. They're little variety packs that come in 4-packs. So there's 4 different flavors that I'll have. So I'll be giving out free G Fuels. First 48 people. Maybe I'll order more. Who knows? Maybe 60, maybe 72. But each week, the next 4 weeks, we're going to cover the different flavors. So this week I have the Rainbow Sherbet. So there we go. Rainbow Sherbet is one of the flavors that will be there, so I'll have that one. So it's pretty good. First time tasting this one, and but each week, the next 4 weeks, we'll cover a different flavor that'll be there for you guys to make sure you come by. And I'll have it in the Ford F-150 Lightning. We'll have ice put in the front area. We'll have an ice chest in there with cold G Fuels, and we'll throw in one of these little koozies for everyone that we give out too. So make sure if you're coming by, you make it by there and get you free G Fuel. We also are getting out vouchers for free food at the food truck too. So for $10 towards food at the food truck. So make sure you're there. And members, don't forget, we have a special member meetup Friday night. So be checking your membership videos for that. And then also, before we get started in a good news moment, don't forget to check out Johnny. Just had 2 videos that went live, a live stream, in fact, before this. So check out his. I have that link down in the description for his YouTube channel. And I had somebody look, hey, I wish we had a Ford Video Guy in Canada. You guys do. And that is Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. He is your Canada Ford Video Guy right there. So he knows the information, and he's up to speed on it. And he knows he's tied into those dealerships there in Canada. So definitely make sure you check that out. All right, so good news moment. So I got this from WX Man on Maverick Truck Club. So I'm just going to quote him. So I'm going to read it right off of what he had. It says, "A year to the day from when I ordered my hybrid Lariat Luxury, I took ownership. Oh my, what a beautiful vehicle. Put about 80 miles on it today and was averaging 46 miles per gallon. In person, it was more than I was expecting. Very solid, and love the Alto Blue in the sun. Shout out to my small dealership in Maine, Casco Bay Ford in Yarmouth. Said Ford Video Guy would be proud, and thank you for all your information that kept me sane. Never an issue, price protected, sold at MSRP, no pressuring from the finance guy. If you're in Maine, go to Casco Bay Ford and ask for Rob Tracy. So shout out to Casco Bay. So another great dealership out there, and there are many good dealerships out there. So if you had a good experience at your Ford dealer that you can share with me, send those to the Timothy Bartz at Gmail and put good news moment in the subject so that I can do a shout out to another great Ford dealership that does things the right way. I want to put it out here on this. So that's good to see another good dealership in Maine. So moderators from Maine up there. So there you go. All right, so let's get into scheduling news and notes here. So what is scheduling this week? About every model line is scheduling except for one. So Bronco is scheduling this week, and does scheduling for the week of 9/5. And looks like we have 8 allocations, and we do have 8 of our orders previewing. I was thinking about pulling these up. So let me make sure I have this up, and let me just go in here, make sure it's working. All right, we are working. So there we go. Okay, so let's go and look at these as we're doing it. So if you have an order with us, you can check that out. So we have 8 orders are previewing. I kind of want to look at this because I have one special follower that has an order with us, and I was just seeing if hers was one of the ones previewing. I don't know. I don't think it is. But you know what? That may not be a bad thing, because I think she wants that light blue color that's coming in. All right. So Bronco Sport is also scheduling this week. And it is don't forget, this is a build out scheduling for this month. So we do have 3 available allocations, but nothing is previewing this week. As of right now anyway. So we might get some preview tomorrow, but nothing is previewing on Bronco Sport right now. Edge it is scheduling. It's saying it's scheduling for the weeks of 8/1 to 8/29, but I thought this month was a month that was not scheduling. We don't have any Edge allocations, so I'm not sure what they're scheduling for. And then we do have Escape, which is scheduling for the week of 9/5. We do have 11 allocations, but we only have 1 previewing right now because I think that's one of those OTD. Actually, that's a stock one. We must, I wonder if we might have already allocated out all of our retail ones. Maybe that's why we're only getting 1 right now. It's because there's enough retail ones out there for people to get theirs. Expedition is scheduling this week for the weeks of 9/12 to 9/26. We do have 5 allocations and 4 are previewing. This P, if people ask me what the P was, that is priorities over here. The P is a different column there, but we do have 4 previewing, and they're all stock. I think all of our retails have already been scheduled out, so that's why we're only seeing that. So if other dealerships have some retails, they'll go for our stocks, but otherwise they'll fulfill those allocations. Explorer. Let's see here. What do we have previewing? We do have a couple previewing. Explorer is scheduling for the weeks of 9/5 to 9/26, so several weeks, different weeks to choose from there. We have 3 allocations, 3 previewing, all stock. Again, all of our retails have already been scheduled. F-150. So this is one where we need some. So they are scheduling for the weeks of 9/5 and 9/12. And this is a build out because they are finishing out production and those for F-150. We actually have, let's look at these first. We have, looks like 6 that have been scheduled. So, and several of those are retail. In fact, all of them are retail with an A plan there, A or X plan. So we do have those that are scheduled. So if you see your order number in there, you are lucky. So they got scheduled today, and then we have some more previewing for later in the week, probably Thursday, another 8 there. So so there you go. So we got some preview in there, a couple stocks. So we're getting almost all of our retails, I think, will get scheduled by the end of this month. So that's a good thing to see. Also, we do have the Maverick is scheduling this week for the week of 9/12. We've already used all of our scheduling. All of ours have been scheduled already. So Joel, thanks for the donation, and got a couple new members in there as well. Thank thank you, thank you. And Joel said running a few minutes late, but here we are. Hello, everyone. Popcorn in the microwave. Let's go. Oh, I should have got some popcorn. I'll share it with you. All right, so Maverick, we don't have anything previewing because all of ours got scheduled last week. In fact, let me see if I can switch over to that other screen. Where did I do with that? Here we go. There we go. So for us, here's the orders that scheduled this last week for us on the Maverick. We did have 4 EcoBoosts that got scheduled. I can't figure out what their rhyme or reason was here. We had a couple that got overlooked for some reason, but then the next 3 got scheduled, and then we have one down here that also got scheduled. It's a luxury Copilot and FX4. Not sure why it passed up all these others, but on the hybrid, they went pretty much on order. So you have all these here, top ones that got scheduled, and then we had some down here further that got scheduled, but you'll notice they did not have any packages. They were XLT quits is what we call them. Another XL with nothing added, and another XL with nothing added, and then an XL with nothing added, and another XL. So it looks like if you have an XL out there, even in November, and you don't have the Copilot 360 package, feel good about that because you might get scheduled here in this month or next month. So there you go. So you can see some of these orders got skipped because they had packages, and these down here didn't have anything. And it looks like those got, well, I don't know sure why that got skipped and went right down to this one. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so there you go. And then moving on back to these others here. So talk about the Mustang. Mustang is scheduling for the weeks of 9/5 to 9/26. We do have 6 allocations for the Mustang, and we have, oh, there it is at the top because it's a car. We do have 6 that are previewing as well. So let's see how that's looking. We only have a couple retails, and the rest are stock because I think that's only retails we have left. So for in our order bank. And then Mach-E is scheduling this week for the weeks of 9/5 to 9/26. We have one. This one's really weird. We have 1 allocation for Mach-E, and we have 2 previewing. So flip the coin. Who's going to get that one? But we got a GT all-wheel drive on order, and another retail on order. So a couple different, that A-Plan or X-Plan, one of the 2. So, and then Ranger, we have, it is scheduling for the week of 9/5 to 10/3. It is a build out scheduling because it's closing out. We do have 1 allocation, but nothing previewing there. And you can see, do have some retails in there. Some of these that are saved though. Oops, looks like we only have 1 unscheduled retail and 2 unscheduled, and one unscheduled stock and 1 unscheduled retail. So we're going to get those probably scheduled out. We have 1 allocation that'll take care of that retail, and they'll probably not worry about our stock one. So we probably won't get that one built. And then Super Duty. We always put some stocks in there just in case we don't have any retails, but we earn allocations just so that we can have something coming our way. And then Super Duty, we do have, they are scheduled for the week of 8/15. We have 10 allocations left. We had a bunch scheduled last month, but we don't have any previewing right now. Transit is scheduling, that's 23 Transit scheduling for the week of 9/12. We currently do not have any allocations. And Transit Connect is not scheduling this week. That's the one model that's not scheduling this week. And to be honest, I totally forgot about Lincoln. Let's move over to Lincoln and let's see. I'm not sure, since I don't have it in my notes, what weeks they're scheduling for. I don't know. Drop the ball on that one. So, but we can look at Aviator. Evidently, Aviator's scheduling this week because we have 1 previewing, a stock one down there. We don't have, as you can see there, we don't have any retails available there. And then Corsair. Oh wait, I'm looking at recommendations. So Corsair. Let's go back to Aviator since I have all. Aviator, we have, go back to this. We do have more orders. We have 1 previewing. It's a stock. And then on Corsair is scheduling, it looks like, because we have 2 that are previewing right now. Both of those are stock. And then the Nautilus. Don't think the Nautilus is scheduling this month. or this week we don't have any allocations or any previewing there. And then Navigator is maybe not scheduling. So anyway, so there you go. There's update on all the scheduling information there. Now to move on, we want to talk about some, and I'll get to your questions in just a little bit. I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise. I just want to get through the news, and we'll get into those questions and drill into those. So if I skip over that, I might have you list those questions again. Order guide updates. We did yesterday, just kind of give you some information. The 23 F-150 order guide did release yesterday, 2 hours before the order bank opened up. So I think it was 1:30 our time, and the order bank opened up at 3:30 our time. So it was like a very quick little thing. We only had 2 hours to look it over before we started being able to put orders in. So, so just to kind of update you on some of the what was new for this for 22. Of course, we did right before that, not right before that, that morning about 5 a.m., 6 a.m., depends on where you live, they released the F-150 Raptor R. So Raptor R is going to get that new 5.2 liter supercharged V8. I do have in the description there is a link to the video that you can check out from that Ford released. So watch that video if you want to learn a little more about it. Also, I went more in depth on the Raptor R in my What's New video yesterday. If you want to watch it, you can check that out. But new Raptor R, and that is going to be the equipment group is called the 802A for the Raptor R. So they're now dividing it up a little bit. They don't have a Raptor 800A or 801A or 802. Now they have an 801A as your standard equipment, 802 is your Raptor R equipment. So kind of talked about that in my video yesterday. New colors, Area 51 is coming to the F-150. We did see that, of course, in some other models, including the Maverick and Bronco. So you'll see that in the available in the F-150. It looks real sharp, too. I saw that on a Lightning in some pictures. Looks real good. Avalanche is going to be a new color for this year as well. Azure Gray. I think I'm saying that right. It's a tri-coat, so can't wait to see that one in person. Hot Pepper Red, another color we did see on the Maverick and Bronco Sport, and it's going to be available on the F-150 as well. And discontinued colors, Smoke Quartz Metallic Tinted Clear Coat. Another opportunity to show you. That's that color right there. Any opportunity I can show you the Lightning. But yeah, that color is discontinued, not available. So it was a 1-year color. Also, Space White, which is a beautiful color. That one is being discontinued this year. So 4 new colors, 2 discontinued colors. I'll reference back to this here in just a little bit when we talk about when we get to the Is It True segment of tonight's episode. And then new packages for this year. Rattler package available on the XL trim. It's an off-road package available. And then on the XLT trim, we have a Heritage package available as well. And again, my video that I went live yesterday talked about those 2 packages. And then we'll go in more in depth with those as well. And then deleted packages. They did away with the 100A on the XL. Now it's all 101A. So standard equipment on an XL trim for F-150 is full power windows, locks, cruise, rear sensing, all standard equipment on an XL. So the Maverick team, did you hear that? Standard equipment on an XL on an F-150 is full power, cruise, and rear sensing. Just saying that, just putting that out there. And then the Tremor package, 400A has been taken away. Now it's 401. So they're making a lot of these, instead of making a base one with not as much as some of the features, now they're just jumping right up to the 401A. So on the Tremor. And then Lariat as well, there's a 500A. They've taken that away. Now it's 501A. This is the that equipment group. And then Raptor as well, they took that away. So there you go. There's some information on what's updated there, and I have a link to the Raptor R video in the description. Now, getting some dealer news updates that was released within the last week. We did see a price increase that came out on the Bronco Sport, Bronco, Mustang, Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, and F-150. So that went into effect 7/15, which was last Friday. So that was released. Actually, it was released during the live stream. I think is when it came out. I got done with the live stream, refreshed Ford News, and it was there. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have covered it. But so just to look at some things, Bronco Sport, the base Bronco Sport went up $250. The Big Ben also $250, and the Outer Banks went up $250. Bronco base price went up $500, Big Ben $500, and Outer Banks $500. And Mustang GT went up 500. The GT Premium went up 500. And then, so a lot of the base prices went up. So on the Escape, it looks like your gas version Escapes, they all went up $160 on the S, SC, SEL, and Titanium. The Edge prices went up. Looks like some went up more than others. The SE on the Edge went up $535, whereas the SEL was $135. The ST line was $90, as well as the Titanium, and the ST went up $275. Explorer, $1,250 on the base price. XLT, ST line, Limited all went up $250, as well as the King Ranch and Platinum, and then the ST went up $750, as well as the Timberline. Expedition, the XL and the XLT, Timberline, King Ranch, and Platinum all went up $330, and your Limited went up $795, and then the F-150 All Series went up $650. So what's that mean? So everybody's price protected. If you had an order in, you don't have to worry about these price increases, because you should not see those price increases added to your vehicle. But what it means is that they can, when they go into the next model year, any of those carryover orders, they're going to have those private offers based on some of these numbers. So what Ford likes to do is be able to say, we didn't increase in price from model year to model year. Well, not at the end of the model year, right? So that's what they like to be able to say is, hey, if you look at what a late 22 was, here's what the price. It really didn't increase when we went to 23 at the launch. But that's because you increased throughout the year several times to get there. But, you know, if you're paying attention, you see that. But all right, the other thing that was introduced that we heard about this week is an APR sales event that's launching 7/18 to 9/5 for those people putting in brand new orders for 2023 or rolled over orders, right, for 2023. So information on that was all your F-150s, excluding the Tremor, Raptor, and Lightning, launches 7/8, and then also the Bronco Sport, Edge, Ranger, Explorer, Maverick, EcoBoost, not hybrid, is also getting in Transit Connect. So what are those rates? So you can lock in low interest rates of 2.9% for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and 4.9 for 84. So that's the longer terms. Doesn't mention 48 or 36. I assume the 48 month will be 1.9 and the 36 will be 0.9, but it doesn't mention this. I think they're trying to reach the payment conscious people of the longer terms. So you can get low APR rates locked in when you order. If you do a lease, I think lease is a $500 lease cash. All except for Maverick. It doesn't get the 500, and so there you go. So so hopefully your dealership knows how to lock in those rates, and we'll actually talk about picking your dealerships later, and that is one of the things we'll talk about you want to make sure you do. Something else that you might see out there, if you do see it, I want to phrase Johnny's character and reviews here. Don't be fooled. If you see information out there on social media that says that you can order your Maverick completely online if you go through the sales event thing, that's not true. There's information. I have information about that. You still order through your dealership. So Ford is going to be advertising on their websites in different places. You know, their creative ads that you see that pop up for you. You know, when you're Googling different things or you're on different websites and you see those little ads in the side or on the bottom for Ford. And so they will be advertising and trying to push some of that stuff to get people to order. And it'll even say order now or learn more and that kind of stuff. And when you click on those, it will go to start your custom order. And it makes it look like you're actually starting your custom order and you're able to order it online. So, so don't be fooled. What that really is going to do is it's going to submit a lead to your dealership. So it's going to go to your local dealership. It says the closest geographical by your zip code when you hit that submit button. And so it's going to go over to that dealer, and then you'll get a thank you that says that, and it'll say dealer receives information via Ford's lead delivery system called Delivered. Now, if any of you did a 22 Maverick reservation last year, it's the same thing that's happening this year. So that's something that's different. So that is not, I mean, it's the same way as last year, where basically what happened was you said, hey, I want to reserve a Maverick. Well, what happened? Well, that basically submitted that dealership a request to reach out to you. and that's all that was. You still ordered through the dealer. The dealer submitted your order. You didn't order it online. So don't be fooled. So I took that phrase. Hopefully Johnny's Car Care doesn't mind me using that. But yeah, that is not, you can order through your dealership. So if you're concerned and asking about that out there, you see that on social media, the order is still put in by the dealer, and you can choose whatever dealer you want. You do not have to order online. It is not required. In fact, it's not going to go anywhere. If you do, well, it'll go somewhere. It'll send a lead to your dealer. And like with us, we have a great BDC department with some ladies in there that are really good at their job. In fact, 2 of them have been here for close to 20 years now. They've been with me for a long time. They know what they're doing. And so there are a lot of dealerships out there that do not have a BDC or a call center, and these leads will just get lost. Yeah, you'll probably submit one and say the dealer never contacted me, and that's probably the truth. But they should reach back out to you. But just so you know, the orders are still done with the dealership, at the dealership. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that. So we are ready for some news. We're going to go into Is It True first, and then I'll have to redo my time because I've already used 30 minutes. I've gone through a lot. But so let's talk about the colors, and we'll jump right into tonight's topic. So here's some new colors for this year. There's a link in the description from this automotive touch-up paint company, and it kind of shows you this different the colors that are available. And this is for the 2023 Ford Maverick. And some people, have noticed in there, well, what color is? It looks like they changed the black. It looks like they changed there's a fighter jet gray now, and some other things. Well, keep in mind, absolute black is actually the same color code as this year's shadow black. So I wouldn't worry too much about the name in that sense, as well as fighter jet gray is the same color code as cactus gray. So just so you guys know, in fact, if you looked at within that website, you can actually go over and you can pick a different year and different models. And if you go to the 22 Maverick, you can actually see that it says fighter jet gray for 22. So cactus gray and fighter jet gray are the same color. And a lot of people say, well, that looks darker than it is. Well, those are just pictures. Those aren't the actual real vehicles. So seeing it in person is totally different. So it looks like, Oxford white, the black is the same. That's cactus gray. Atlas blue. So I like that. That's a nice color. Area 51, the same. Avalanche, new color, possibly coming. Iconic silver and the Alto blue. So those are some new colors. I do have some notes here because I wanted to preface this because a lot of people are upset because, as you notice, there's no reds. So I don't think this is a complete list. And if you actually look at the Bronco Sport list for that, there's a couple colors there that aren't on the Maverick, and they are built at the same factory. So you see Eruption Green is in there, and there's a Robin's Egg Blue that's in there as well, which looks like it could be the same heritage color as the Bronco. So I could see that one only being on the Bronco Sport, but I would think Eruption Green is probably going to come to the Maverick as well. So I don't think the list is complete yet. So don't be upset, bothered by that. Let's just see what happens when the order guide comes out and what colors they are. Another thing, as I mentioned earlier, we did see on the Ford F-150 4 new colors and only 2 deleted colors. So we got a +2 on the colors. And if you look at these colors, there's 4 missing and only 2 added, Avalanche and Atlas Blue. So it typically won't be a negative number like that. So I still believe, especially since Hot Pepper Red is coming to the F-150, I still think Hot Pepper Red will be available, but don't know. Velocity Blue is not available in the F-150, so that truly probably could get discontinued for 23. Carbonized Gray is not listed in there, but it's still available on the F-150. So I don't know. We'll see how everything looks when we go to put those orders in. So those that have a pre-order in, maybe a good idea to give us an alternate color. But again, colors can be changed real easily at any time. Now let's move into the today's topic, and I'll update the notes down in the description for timestamps for people to move around in this. So this week, I wanted to talk about things that you need to ask your dealer before placing your 2023 order with them. So, and these are things we can learn from people from 2022 and some of the experiences that they found with ordering and taking delivery of their Ford Maverick or any of the vehicles really that came out in this last year, because there's some new things that happened about a year ago that dealers weren't prepped for and weren't ready for. And I just want to make sure that everybody doesn't have any issues when they put in their 23 order this year. So 4 things you need to think about and talk to and ask your dealer before you place that pre-order or that order when the order banks open up, whether it be yesterday on the F-150 or it be with all the different vehicles that are opening up on 8/2. So just keep that in mind. So first one you want to double check with and ask about is the pricing. And we're not just talking about the MSRP. What are you going to price? Are you going to go off of MSRP? Are you going to go below MSRP? Are you going to go above MSRP? So find out what price they're going to do first. So, and then you want to add to that, not just say, hey, what price are you going to price that to me, when I put my order in. Now you also want to ask, well, what price are you going to price if it takes 6 months, 9 months, and the economy has changed and the prices of everything is going up? Are you going to mark it up and give me a market adjustment later? Do you guys do market adjustments on your vehicles? So make sure you ask those things. Wouldn't be a bad idea to ask them to put it in writing for you as well by a manager. All right, so it would be a good idea to do that. Also, on top of that, what are your dealer fees? So every dealer has a dealer fee. There are some states that require you not to have a dealer fee. Ours is $500. Check and see what different dealer fees are out there. I have seen a lot of dealerships doing a market adjustment fee, and so they're not telling you about that fee. Hey, what's your fee, including if it's a market adjustment fee? What are you going to do? I want to know. I don't want to be surprised when I come in here and get my vehicle in 6 months, 9 months down the road, and my vehicle finally comes in, and you have a market adjustment fee of $10,000 or $5,000. Also ask them, are there any required add-ons that you put on all your vehicles and we're required to purchase when we buy our vehicle? So again, asking them, being very blunt, say, I just don't want any surprises when I come in. You're going to tell me you're going to honor MSRP price, but then you won't tell me about any add-ons or dealer fees that could be outrageous, and you're not telling me those amounts. I want to know those amounts as well. If you make every vehicle put a clear coat on it, I want to know that that's something you're requiring and what that cost is going to be. So ask them about all those different pricing. So, the price of the vehicle, dealer fees, any market adjustment fees, any add-on fees. Ask them all those and make sure you have those down in writing as well. Another thing you want to do is number 2, which is probably one of the most important things, is do they know what COVP is? Do they know what the Certified Order Verification Program is? Do they know how to submit them? Do they know how to check them? Do they know what documents are needed? So you might ask them and say, hey, just want to double check. I heard about this order verification process. Do you know anything about that? Do you do that with your guys' orders? And if they say, Ford doesn't require us to do that, then you need to run, because if they don't COVP your order will not get scheduled. And I'm telling you this with enthusiasm here, because I've seen it happen, and I just cringe every time I read somebody that says that their order wasn't COVP'd and they've been waiting for 9 months to a year. And I just feel so bad for those people. So you want to make sure that you know that your order is COVP'd, and you want to make sure that your dealership knows what that is and knows the deadlines and knows how to put those in and how to check that for you. And so another thing you can do is, once you put your order in, you can always check back. It does take several days for Ford to approve those, so give the dealer a little bit of time. But just, you might want to double check back with that and make sure that they did that. But if they know what it means, and when you go to put your order in, if they ask for a copy of driver's license and they ask you to sign and fill out the order sheet, they probably know what they're doing. It would be a good idea to go back and make sure you got the approval, but it's a good thing to make sure that they know what it is and that they know how to do that. Also, number 3 is to ask them if they know how to lock in the rates. So I'm ordering today. I want to make sure I want to get the locked in special incentives and rates that are going to be available now. And if they don't know how to do that, say, well, if they tell you, well, the rates will be whatever it is when the vehicle comes in, then you're not aware of how to do that. So I did actually put some graphics in here, because I have, so this is a graphic that kind of shows that. So this is how you're able to get your locked in rates. So it's just a radio button there where you just click on protection date. In fact, what's really funny is the information that they share to dealers about this contest going on, or the sales event going on. Even says right there, it says available offers, low rate. Wait, no, that's not the part right there. Right. Yes, compatibility is the low rate. Well, it doesn't actually say locked in rates, but it does say how to select that. See, I'm trying to find it quickly, and so that's why I can't find it. Oh, here we go. I think it's on the sheet here. So it actually tells dealers, in fact, they're going to advertise out there to get the available incentives now locked in when you place your order. So it says the rate lock low APR program will be applicable in Smart Vincent at the time of sale with either sale date or protection date. Sale date or protection date. So you want to ask your dealer, hey, I know this is program, special offer going out right now where you can lock in my rate at that special rate and incentives. Do you guys know how to do that and honor that? So you want to make sure they know how to do that. Number 4 is, do you know how to honor price protection? So I've seen in the last year, prices have been increasing in a lot of vehicles from the time they ordered, with several different price increases, and some vehicles even had going up several thousands of dollars. Do you know how the price protection works? Will you price protect my vehicle and honor that? If they say there's no such thing as a price protection, go find another dealer. So these are you just things you want to be aware of. There are price increases every time there's a price increase. In fact, I didn't have the sheet on that, but the one that just happened as well, every single one of them Ford will have in the dealer bulletin that these price increases are automatically price protected, which means the dealer doesn't have to do anything except for honor the price. So you get your original DORA sheet, and that's another thing you want to remember to do is when you place your order, get your order sheet, but also request a copy of the DORA, D-O-R-A. So you want to make sure you get a copy of that. So whenever that order goes in, the DORA isn't available right away, they will need to send that to you, because usually what happens is Ford will send those DORA sheets to us via old snail paper with the ridges in the side and everything. I don't even know if I have any. The old printers and everything that come through our, Ford's old school database. But we get that printout. It's usually the next day. So what we do is we get a sheet that's printed out for all of our orders the day after the orders are submitted. Any changes to orders, we get a new DORA as well. So I'd be requesting your DORAs from when you ordered it, so you have that information. Any changes you make to your order, also request to get a copy of that too. So you keep in mind, those are 24 hours before they do that, but you want to make sure you call the next day and get a copy of your DORA from your dealership as well. So keep all your copies of everything so that you can protect yourself. So hopefully these tips help you out in a process of finding a good local dealership that will honor all those things and know what they're doing. There's some, as we noticed earlier, there's some great dealerships and they know what they're doing. Just you need to find those, because there are some dealerships that aren't as good. So you want to make sure you find a good dealership there. So covered that, and I know I'm now 42 minutes in. I got some, I have some information. I got some, that's Kansas slang. Okay, so I do have some information that I want to share if you guys are okay with doing that before we get to questions, but go ahead and slide your questions in there now. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit about a couple different spy shots from Ford Authority out there. I know that Johnny covered this on, I think, one or both of these earlier. I was getting ready for the live stream, so I was listening. I was Johnny, I promise. But here is some information and some clips from a couple different packages and vehicles that were spotted out there by Ford Authority. So this first one here is on the Maverick. So this is a possible Maverick Tremor that they've noticed here. So spies spotted this. Appears to be a Maverick Tremor out driving around completely uncovered, which could be a sign that such a model is imminent. Now, I am actually reading this and giving credit completely to Ford Authority, so I'm going to read this almost word for word on a lot of these, but there you go. There's a clip and a picture of that, so I'll show you all the pictures that were provided in the article as well, so you can see course, has Ford Authority on there, so it's real good. I'll give them credit there. But there were obvious clues that lead us to believe that it is, in fact, a Tremor. Starting up front, you can see it does have the kind of that yellow, orange painted look there. It does have the orange tow hooks in the front, the orange grill inserts in there, and that usually is the Tremor. So we see that on the Ranger, on the F-150. That kind of notes that it is a Tremor package by having those details right there. So pretty cool there. The prototype does feature a little bit taller ride height, and then it's also it appears equipped with the Falcon Wild Peak tires, the same one we see on the FX4 off-road package. So usually these packages won't be be able to get both of these packages. Usually FX4 is not more on graphics and look, it's more on the overall things that you get, the features you get. You notice the wheels silver painted with even some orange in one of those wheels there too. So that's pretty cool how that looks right there. So we'll see if that carries over into the model year too. And then in the rear, the prototype features smoked out taillights. You can see those little darker tinted taillights back there in the back. Was pretty cool, of course. And so we'll see if this makes it to production. We do see the Lariat badging as well. Kind of mentioned, saw that earlier. So you have the Lariat badging. So maybe like the XLT Ranger, where it's available in it's a Tremor package that's available in XLT and the Lariat trim. And this may be the Lariat version of that. So pretty cool there. So this, who knows? Also, Mike did the last paragraph here does actually talk about that it could also include additional modifications such as the twin clutch all-wheel drive system that comes standard on the Bronco Sport Badlands, since they do share the same platform with the Maverick and in the same plant. So something to think about right there. So that's pretty cool. So we'll see. People are kind of wondering, think that'll be available at launch? I think what will happen is anything that may be a late availability will be available to order at the beginning. You just won't be able to see it until it becomes available, if that makes any sense. So it'll be a late availability package probably. So that's what I see happening possibly. Could be available right at the launch, but again, because they're only going to switch over in 3 days, it might be hard for them to be able to do that. The other one is on the Bronco. So Bronco Heritage Edition is seen out there already. Uncovered and everything. So about a month ago we did see some release photos of them wrapped up, but now we see this one here that's not wrapped. So I'm quoting Ford Authority here in their article. It says, as we see in these photos, the 23 Ford Bronco Heritage Edition has some very unique details compared to the rest of the Bronco lineup. Up front, you see the Ford lettering in place of the Bronco, which makes a Heritage Edition only the second Bronco in this particular feature. Of course, we do see that in the Raptor. And then you notice with that lettering right there. So that looks cool. And also the lettering is going to match with the body colored. So that's also pretty cool. I kind of like the white letter because when you hit, at night, people see the lights, they hit the white letters, but some people really like that in the daytime. So that looks pretty cool. So, and then also moving down the side, you can see different shots that they provided here. You see the roof rack as well that matches up with the same one that's present right now in the Bronco Everglades Edition, as well as those wheels. So those 4 slotted wheels and the bigger tires that you see also on the Everglades Edition there, and that matte black finish on those, and the squared off fender flares. I do like those fender flares, by the way. So hopefully I can get those through parts or something, right? And then also you see here in the back, it's a black painted hardtop. So looks like that was supposed to be available in 21. It got delayed. Thought maybe be available in 22. Now maybe available in 23, but also maybe part of a Heritage Edition that you'll need to get that. So there you go. There's that. And last image is there on the back. So overall, it says just quoting them, the overall look of the 23 Ford Bronco Heritage Edition is supposed to pay homage to the original 66 model, and it does so in many of the features. This particular variant launch will coincide with the new retro-inspired blue paint option that we talked about a month ago. So there you go. So I don't know what you guys think about those, but I think it's pretty cool. Like the Heritage Edition there and possible colors. All right, so let's get into some of these questions you've been dying to ask me. So I'm going to scroll up here a little bit and get some here. Oh, quite a few. Dot matrix printer. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Joe. Dot matrix printer. Yep. That's what they print off on. So you guys still have the dot matrix printer for the daily Doras? Yes. That's what they print off of. I don't have any with me, but they're always printed off that way. So, but yes. And even if you have your original order sheet, that will work as well because it'll be dated on that one too. But as long as you have that. So, yes, Rosemary, should not have any issues because you're with Law McArthur though. All right, so Josh says my build date was 7/4. I got the built email 7/5, but when I checked in on the tracker, it still says in production and no other word. So that means it's been built, but it hasn't been released yet. So what'll happen is I actually need to do a video talking about this in the breakdown. Some people had suggested that, and that's something I may want to do, and maybe it'll be a topic of another episode. But you'll get a built, the vehicle is going to be built, and then at some point they need to do their checks, safety checks, overall quality checks, and then once that's done, then it'll get released from the factory. So like, here's an example. My Expedition was built March 28th, but it needed to wait for a chip hold, so it actually sat for about 2 months. And then I finally got an email on the end of May that says it's been released. So at that point, it's sat for another couple months. Finally got an email this last week. On Friday, actually the day that I got my Bronco, the day that I got my Lightning, we got an email from Ford saying the Expedition has been shipped. So you may see several ones, just depends on how quickly that processes. So you're probably going to be waiting on a shipped email or a released email from Ford. Yusef said, what is the expected shipping fee, if any? I live in California and want to order from you. So it is, right now, the going rate is about $1.20 a mile based on the shippers. That's a pretty good guesstimate there. But to get it to California, so we have to figure out how far it is. Once it comes in, we'll get a better guess on how much that cost is going to be. And we do cover the first $1,000 of the shipping cost if you finance a vehicle with us at standard rates. So. All right, so Henry said, my Maverick is supposed to get courtesy delivered to me tomorrow. Awesome. I knew it was getting closer from Sunland Ford in California after placing order with Law McArthur in July. I do want to remind you, too, Henry, that you're going to be communicating with us, not with them. So when the vehicle comes in, don't call them. They really get annoyed, I know, because all we're paying them to do is hand a set of keys off to you. So once we've completed all the paperwork with us, then we will contact them and then they'll reach out to you. So just so you know that, that's kind of the process on that. So we've had some issues with other people of contacting and them calling them when the vehicle hasn't even been set up yet, and getting, and everything. And so the dealerships get frustrated with us, and then they get kind of angry. So yeah, just you're going to be communicating with us. Don't call the dealer. Call us. We'll get all the paperwork and everything handled, and then we'll set everything up for you at that point. So because they cannot actually hand it off to you until they get our okay. And that won't happen until we get the deal completely finalized and we get all the signed paperwork back and everything, because we don't want to get it released over and then not get everything that we need back from the customer. So, Tim, can this dealership sell it out from underneath me? No, they better not. What keeps them from selling it and saying, sorry, guy? Well, it says it's sold to Law McArthur technically, so it is not for them to be able to sell. So we haven't had any issues with that happening. We've done several drop ships, but we haven't seen that happening before, so that shouldn't be a problem. So, and we actually get a copy. The shippers that drop it off there, once they drop it off, they actually send that copy to us. So we actually know that it was dropped off and when it was dropped off. So we'll know right away that they have it. And that's when we start contacting them and say, okay, we're working on this. Don't forget, that's ours. Let me know when you have it set up so that I can contact them and have them pick it up. So we actually get in contact with them real early in that process so they don't do that. So can the dealer lock in on leases? I believe so. Yeah, I mean, yeah, your rates, whether it be APR rates or lease rates, do get locked in, yes. All right, Jeff says, will the allocation system be used for 23 Maverick order builds or based on order submission dates? It's always going to be based on allocations. So when Ford was saying that they're going to try to go by orders, it wasn't necessarily not saying they weren't going to use allocations. It was saying within that dealership they're going to try to go with the earlier orders. So they basically are giving allocations out based on how many early orders you have. So there was a month there, I don't know if you guys remember, when we had like 85 allocations one month. And that's because we had more, and we got like 85, and other dealers got a really small number. And that's because we still had more orders from June, July that were unscheduled, and that's why we got more allocations those months. So now when we have less orders probably in these other months, that's why we only had 17 this month, whereas I think like Granger Ford, which is in our region, they received more than us because they had older orders that needed to be fulfilled. So then they received more allocations than we did because they had some older orders than we did to fulfill them. So that, if that makes sense, I think that's what they're trying to do on those. All right, I need to take a drink. Now, Kevin had a question here. I do want to tell you, Kevin, I'm sorry I haven't emailed you back. I know you've been emailing me, but yesterday with the launch of the F-150 and the order guides and everything, I've been trying to do videos and getting ready for the live stream today. I have not done that, but I will make sure I email you tomorrow. All right. If we order from you, does McArthur provide all those dealer questions you asked to us in writing, or do we need to ask them ourselves? Well, those questions are ones that we do. So you can ask if you want. We're going to all of our sales guys will be able to tell you the answer to those. And I wouldn't say you necessarily need all those answers in writing. I think the pricing you will, and when we do an order for you, you will get that in writing. So you're going to see that pricing, and you're going to see our dealer fee on those as well. So you're going to get all that information from us. So yeah, I wouldn't be quoting and gossiping about that stuff if we didn't honor it ourselves. That's for sure. Sorry if this has been answered already. Says, but will McArthur sell 2023 Mavericks to out-of-state buyers at MSRP? Yes. Yep. Doesn't matter what state you live in, whether it be Kansas or an outside state, we're still going to do the same MSRP pricing. If you want to take the any low rates or any of those special rates or whatever, then you'll have to figure out a way of either getting it to you, doing a drop ship, or come and getting the vehicle. If you want the free shipping or travel expenses to come here, where we pay the first $1,000, you would need to finance at standard rates. So that way we can afford to pay for those costs. So Alan said, I know I have asked this before, but want to be sure I can get an order number that is for my order only and not attached to other orders. Okay, so yes, so order numbers are dictated by the dealer. Sometimes there are some duplicates in a sense that they use that order number for another order, like in a situation where mine is. So I could even probably show you that. So in fact, while we're at it, let's go in here because I want to look up my wife's, check on the status on hers. So I can actually show you where I've used my order number, that I call it my order number because I like to use it, T01B, and I don't feel, I mean, it's not like you can't actually look up my order unless you're within our dealership and our DMA code. So let me see. Oh, let me get this up here. All right, let's see where it's at. There you go. Yeah, you can see that. So if you're looking at mine, see I have T01B over here attached to 3 different orders. So my F-150 Lightning, this Maverick order that I end up actually handing off to someone else, and then this Expedition order. So these all have the same T01B. So usually you won't want to do that, but we did have a couple that happened where we had the same order number on 2 different orders, but they were different body codes. So it was we were able to tell the difference on those. But that is a number. So that one's still sitting in Kentucky. Ramp 8P in Kentucky. Let's go. Wife's waiting on that Expedition, so we need to get it here. So yes. So anyways, that's you can use that same order number. That is a manual order given to your orders. So you could just request, you can actually request your own order number from them probably, and they could do that. It's usually it's a 4-digit number. I think one of them has to be, I think the first one has to be a letter. Can't remember. But we use a letter, 2 numbers, and then a letter typically, but sometimes the last one can be a number as well. Some of our stock units will actually be a letter and 3 numbers, depends on who ordered it. So we actually know, hey, this is one that Derek ordered, this is one that so-and-so ordered, this is one, we can tell who ordered stock units based on those numbers because they usually have that same code, first initial of their name, and then the next 3 are the numbers that they ordered. But on customer orders, we usually do it based on the person's name. So for me, Tim Bartz, I do T01B or T02B or T03B. So you'll notice some of you guys that might have orders with us, you might see an M01M. Well, that would be Mike Mole. We do have 2 sales guys that have the same initials. So some of them, if you have like Derek Stidham, it's not D whatever S, it's going to be, I think he started using E on his instead because we also have a Darren Smith. So so that's kind of how we do that. We have several D's at the work here and several Mikes. So anyway, that's how that kind of works. So all right, so Roy said, hi Tim, any word on cruise control being available on the Maverick XL Hybrid? Don't know yet. We don't really know. They haven't told us squat on anything available yet. So and I heard somebody had posted that they heard that August 1, that no information will be released until August 1. So, hey, if we get it on August 1, then that would be great. I would love to know that. In fact, more than likely what I'm going to do is as soon as the order guides are released, it might be August 1st or August 2nd, I think I'll be doing a live stream. And I'll go through the order guide with you guys on a live stream. So we'll probably just put it out there on a live stream and kind of go over what's new, as well as I'll just kind of start looking through the order guide at some things that I noticed, and that might be different from last year and such, so that we can go over that together. So we'll probably do that and then answer any questions that people might have as well. So because the building price won't be available for several weeks after. So if it's on the 1st, we'll go live on the 1st. If it's not until the 2nd, we'll probably go live that morning as well as that night. And of course I'll be busy putting in orders as well. So that's probably why I'll go live, is just because, trying to record a video and then having it edited and then put online and upload and everything just takes so long. It'd just be so much easier for me to just go live, go over the information with you, so then I can get to the orders and get those submitted for our customers. Of course, we will have 5 managers putting in orders that day. So we'll be prepared. All right. So Keymote said, if I live out of state, 750 miles away, can I get credit for shipment fee if I come to Salina to pick up the vehicle myself? Well, if you come to Salina to pick up, then we'll pay for travel expenses. So we don't, the reason I say up to $1,000 is, let's say you live someplace that's only 500 miles away and the shipping cost is only $500, then we'll cover $500 if you finance with us. If the shipping cost is you're 750 miles away and it's $750, then we cover $750. So it's up to $1,000, and that's really just covers us for anything over that, if you're further away. So if you're a shorter distance, I recommend special. We've had a lot of people like, you know what, I want the 0% or I want the special rate. Then I'm like, okay, we'll do that. Then we'll just fly in, we'll pick you up at the airport, and then you just have the cost of the flight and then travel expenses back. We'll give you a full tank before you leave, that kind of thing. So we've had a lot of people that want to take the special rate instead, and so that's what they do, is they fly in and drive it home. And so that's what I recommend if you're wanting to go do that route. So that way you don't have to finance, if you don't want to that way. All right, so let's see, it skipped up on me here, so make sure I missed any questions. So Kathy said, can you look up other dealer orders? No, we cannot. Okay, Yanati, hopefully I said that right. Says 2023 F-150 order guide says require multi-contoured seat with active motion removal 91X. Does this mean there's no massaging seats for 2023? Correct. Or is that optional thing to speed up build? Well, it is a removal right now. It's probably it does say required. So our REQ would be required. So what they might do is end up coming up with an option where they might change that mid-year if they have parts come available. But we know right now you have to take those off. That has to be added to an order to get it scheduled and put on it. We even have some customers that have them on order and are scheduled and won't have them. And the main reason they went to Platinum was for that that feature. So they're kind of upset because otherwise they just would have went to a, a Lariat instead. So, so yeah, that is something that looks like. I haven't actually looked at the platinum trim and those details yet, but it's probably going to be the same as it was in 22. All right. Deke said, does Law McArthur handle all local DMV and taxes for out-of-state purchases? No, we do not. So he said, basically, as a buyer, will I need to do anything in my state to register my truck? Yes. So we can't actually charge you for sales tax. So sales tax and DMV and everything. See, in our state, we have to go to the DMV and pay all that at the DMV. We don't do that through the dealership in the state of Kansas. So we would, for us, we do that regardless. So that's why we wouldn't be doing that anyway. But on the tax, you would take care of that. So what we do sometimes for customers, if they don't have the out-of-pocket for the sales tax and the DMV, is that we can actually roll that into your loan. So we can add that cost into your loan and cut you a check back. So that would be covered. But you will actually have to go up and go to your local DMV and take care of that. So yes. Kathy said, if my order is material hold, what would you speculate that means? It means there's something on your order that is causing it to not get scheduled. So more than likely, like the luxury package, the hybrid, Copilot 360, those are what they call possible hold. So if they're looking, see if I can pull one up here. Let's go. Actually, let's go over here. I'll let you see my screen here in just a second. Let me get to the pulling this up real quick. There you go. So let's actually go to a Maverick order. Actually, don't even need to go to Maverick. I saw one right there. So see this CVS or SVS, thinking of the store. You see this NSP. So when you scroll over it, those are all things that supposedly say are restrictions or material holds, right? And I don't know if that's what your dealer is telling you, but like in this particular order, bed extender is on there. And then some other things, hybrid, spray and bed liner. We know those are all part of the constraint list. So, and then some of these other things have to do with the different packages, plant restriction. Sometimes it'll say the reason it can't get scheduled is because of allocations and that kind of thing. So like that one there actually does say allocation. So G9 is dealer vehicle allocation because we're out of allocations. So that's what's stopping, possibly stopping it from getting scheduled. So, that's kind of what the constraints that I've been talking about each week. That's material holds. So that's probably why they're not getting scheduled. What is the deposit on a 23 Maverick order placed with you guys? 0. Nothing. We're not requiring a deposit. So what we typically do is we kind of evaluate it on, almost on payment in a sense of, people are looking to get a Maverick. They're looking to keep the payment down low and such. So we're not requiring a deposit. My Lightning, we did $500 on all the Lightnings as a deposit. Some vehicles, just depends on the vehicle. We don't do a deposit. If it's a different build that's very complex and such, and that would be really hard for us to sell if you don't take it, we may have a bigger deposit, like $1,000, just, that kind of thing. So it really just depends. James said, does that mean if I buy from a small dealer, then I am out of luck getting my order early, even if it's a 23 rollover? No, not necessarily. I mean, if you have a small dealer that has an order that gets rolled over in 22, they're still going to get looked at and get scheduled before somebody at a 23 at a bigger dealership, right? So, I mean, that's just kind of the way, it should work. I mean, so you shouldn't necessarily, just because you're a smaller dealership, they may only have a few orders. It may take a little while to get an allocation, but if you only, I've seen people that are dealerships that have like 2 orders, and none of theirs have been scheduled yet, or even gotten allocations for one yet. Well, if their orders weren't until like October or November, well, that makes sense. But they might be getting one here this next month because now it's time, because of other orders in that region for it to get scheduled. So being in a smaller dealership, I don't think it's a penalty necessarily. I would be more concerned on whether or not they COVP'd your orders and that kind of thing, because some of the smaller dealerships, they don't put as many orders. Sometimes their Ford reps don't always visit them as regularly as they do the bigger dealerships to go over their information. So I'd be more concerned that they're getting all the information on how to do price protection, price increases, and all that kind of thing would be the biggest thing that you just want to be aware of there. So Mark said, do you recommend getting an appointment on August 2nd or just get to the dealer as early in the day as possible and queue up? Well, it depends on the dealership. We are actually taking pre-orders. So we don't feel like there's going to be a lot of new things launching at the beginning. And so we're asking people to pre-order. I mentioned this last week and the live stream last week. You can check it out if you want on exactly what our process is. Because what we're doing is we're taking pre-orders. So those customers don't have to reach out and get on the phone first thing that morning to put in an order with us. Or they don't even have to come down to the dealership if they want to. So we actually have it set up to where we're going to be basically placing those orders. We have 5 people that are going to be putting in orders that day. And so we can get those orders in as quickly as possible. And so that's just kind of what how we're going to do it, because we know that orders can be updated and changed. So we're going to put that in. If we go to put in that order and we see that somebody wants a luxury package and maybe in 22 or 23, hopefully they've split that up and they have a bed utility versus a luxury package. If it's different, then we can place that order with a luxury package, and then we can have that salesperson, we'll reach out to them because now the luxury package doesn't include this and this and this. Are they okay with that? And then they can reach out, but at least that order is in there and it's time stamped. So that order is in place, and then we can always make those changes and then get the signed documents the same day handed in. So getting that order in as soon as possible is the most important. If there are dealers out there that says we won't take orders until that day, and we're at a dealership right now that we have, I'm telling you, I've already received probably 100 pre-orders. And so we're going to have 100 orders put in the first hour of it opening up. And for people that are waiting for the dealerships to contact them and go over the order guide and when it's going to be ready and everything, they're going to be time-stamped way behind us because of that. So we are very confident in taking care of our customers and as quickly as possible in the best way possible. And we feel like we have a step ahead because we're doing it that way. All right, so Eric says, does a 23 F-150 Tremor come standard with a 5.0 V8? Well, let me look. I got the order guide right here. Let me look. Tremor. There's Lariat. There's King Ranch. There's Platinum. Limited. There's Tremor. All right, Tremor. Tremor comes standard with a 5.0 liter V8 engine. That is correct. Let's look at the other possible engines, but you can also get it as optional with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. So even though it says it comes standard with the 5.0, if you want to go with a 3.5, it's optional in the sense that it's going to be an upcharge to go to that engine. So you can get either one of those 2 engines on the Tremor package. Make sure I put this in the right order. So these are, we'll be going through those. We'll be having fun with those here shortly. So. All right, I do want to thank our new member here. So let's see, I missed the name there. Was it Melanie? Yeah, thank you, Melanie, becoming a new member there. And I probably missed a couple members, so hopefully Sarah and I know Ridgeview have welcomed them in. So Ridgeview does a great job of welcoming everybody into the chat. All right, so who else do we have here? Mark said, is credit check required for placing a Maverick order? Nope. I heard you can ask to defer that to time of purchase. We are not, because if you put in approval to go and do an approval, it's only good for 30 days. So then when it comes in, we're going to do it again. And so we don't want your credit hit again. So we're just putting that in. So we hopefully that whether you not have good credit or not before you put the order in. And that's been one of the reasons why we haven't been. And that's one of the provisions that Ford has for not having the name match is if you don't get approved. If you get a bank turn down, then that is a reason why the dealership doesn't have a name match and doesn't count against us. So there you go. So we usually wait on that. We also wait on the shipping information and the other things like that. So, all right, I think I missed questions. It scrolled on me. Says Law McArthur, please contact. Okay, yeah, we'll look into yours. 45-day wait. Okay, D39S. Let's just look yours up real quick, Vicky. And I think yours, well, I don't know for sure. Let's look it up. I think we looked it up Thursday night, didn't we? Okay, All right, so right now the status is showing here, and we can look up in the vehicle visibility, but it does say returned from body company. So yours had the luxury package and Copilot 360, so it had to go over and get that stuff put on it, and then it came back. And so that had just came back from the plant to do that. So remember, they were down 2 weeks. So if yours got built like right before that, then it could have been over there for 2 weeks in line with the others, and then it had to be put on and then come back. So, and if it was a hybrid, which it was, we do know that there was a hold on the batteries, the hybrid batteries too. So that's probably what that delay was. So nothing to be concerned about. It looks like it'll be shipped out here real soon, and we'll get it on your way. So hopefully. So Dan, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate that. All right, let's see here. Hopefully answered that for you. Daniel said, "Hey Tim, we'll be coming to the Maverick event in August. Coming to see some of the Midwest from Pennsylvania." Wow, that's a nice drive. All right, glad to have you come in. All right, Daniel. So make sure, yeah, I can't wait to see all your guys' Mavericks, the different colors, the configurations, the builds you guys had, and anything you've added to them. So I'm looking forward to that. So definitely won't just be stationary right in my right by. My daughter's going to have her Maverick right with the F-150 Lightning. Probably even have my Bronco there too if I can get all three of them there. But I won't be just staying there. I want to go and look around and see what everybody's Maverick is. So hopefully I don't miss you guys, but definitely want to see all those Mavericks. So thanks for coming. Appreciate it. And we're doing this every year. So this is just a first annual this year. This is going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to it. Does the dealership know their allotment for vehicles for the entire month at the beginning of the month? Yes. Or do they find out each week? We find out what our total allocations we're going to have is, and then each week they tell us how many they plan to schedule of our allocations. So like, I think we looked it up earlier. So like on ours, it's showing like F-150, for instance, where we're supposed to be, we had 58 allocations for F-150, and last week they scheduled 5. So this week they're working on 9 more. So so sometimes it takes several weeks. Last week on the Maverick we had 17 allocations. They scheduled all 17 last week. So sometimes it's several weeks. Bronco Sport was another one. We have received 18 allocations for the month. 15 of them got scheduled last week, and we're scheduled to have the other 3 scheduled this week. So hopefully that kind of gives you some information on that. What's a deposit on a Maverick? 0 for us. Some dealers will require a deposit, but we will not. I just received my member welcome package. Awesome. Glad you got that, Joel. All right, John said, "Is there any early payoff fees if we finance with you?" No, we do ask you to keep the loan for several months. Finance goes over all that, but we do ask you to keep it for a couple months. What happens is, okay, well, here, I've always said I'm very transparent about this, so this is how this works when it comes to this. So we want to be able to provide free shipping for you. That shipping isn't free. It's going to cost us money, right? But if you finance with us, we can use some for a dealership. If you go with the lender says, "Hey, thanks for your business. Here is a reserve that we're going to pay." The lender pays us a certain fee, certain amount, depending on how much that finance deal is. So if you finance all $25,000, then that financing reserve would get more than if you finance $10,000, right? So we ask you to finance at least 80% of that, and then we get that back. Now, if we send a deal to them for financing, and then 2 months later they pay it off, well, then the lender says, "We want that money back." So then they charge us back that money, and we lose it all. So in a sense, then we end up losing money on the deal, and it actually costs money to have a vehicle delivered. So that's why we ask you to be able to keep that for a term. So that's kind of how that works. That's the salesperson side of what I know. I'm not in finance, but that's pretty much the basis of it and behind it. And that's why we ask you to keep that loan for several months when they ask you to do that. But then you're willing, you can pay it off. Go with your local credit union if you want to, or something like that. But we have a lot of different lenders that we work with. You don't have to go through Ford standard rates. Sometimes they're a little higher than other lenders. So just throwing that out there. So, all right, Joe said, sorry if this already asked, do we know if interest rates are protected when we move from 22 to 23? I asked my general manager, I said, "What do you think?" This is what I think, and I don't think they're going to give you the rates from 22. So I think what they're trying to do is the special rates for this month that's coming out for the new 23 orders is to try to help out with that and cover that, but it's not quite the same because rates back a year ago were a lot better than they are now. So that's why you're not seeing a 0% deal for 36, more than likely a 0.9 or 1.9 for 36. And so those are the rates that are going to be available, is whatever is available at launch. It will not be what you had when you first put in your order in 22, just so you know that. All right, so, all right, Sarah, thank you. Mike said, I got a private offer of $750 for a purchase of a 22 Mav. Is it true that if I use this offer, I can't take advantage of the financing in effect when I placed my order in 21? Okay, so the offer is good for the date. So you need to look and see when the dates are, when that's available. So if you ordered back in, let's say, October, that offer wasn't valid and it didn't start until, let's say, it was June, for instance. Then if you use the protect date, you'd be looking at the incentives and private offers that were available to you at that time. So you'd see those incentives. So what you'd want to do if you want the $750 offer is you have to use the sale date instead. Then you'd get that, be able to use that private offer of the $750, but then you won't get the rates from when you ordered in October. If that makes sense, you only use either protect date or sale date. And if that offer was given to you and it wasn't in that window of the protect date or the order date, then you won't get the $750 if you take that incentive base. If you base it on the sale date, then you will get it as long as this hasn't expired yet. Does that make sense? All right, Marcia said, has anyone received a hybrid XLT 360 September order yet? Received, don't know. We've had some schedule. Actually, not many. Oh yeah, we had several that was scheduled, I believe, last week. No, not last week, maybe the month before. So some have been scheduled, but I don't think any have delivered yet. And EcoBoost probably has. If they have an EcoBoost order, they probably did. All right. Oh, getting caught up here. Wes said, did you already answer this and I miss it? For 23 Lightning, what do you know about reservations, orders, and allocations for ZEV states versus non-ZEV states? We don't know yet. We don't have that information on that. I think I saw a graphic where they showed the amount of orders that were transferred over to customers within ZEV states, and it seemed like they got a lot more allocations, but I don't know for 23 how that's going to work out. So hopefully go by time based no matter what state you're in, because all states want to be ZEV states, and so hopefully it's better. But I think more than likely scheduling will probably happen early August for the Lightning, so we'll get probably more information when we go to do scheduling or wholesale information, which is coming up probably in about a couple weeks, usually around the first of the month. Hopefully we get that information before the first, so we can get some good information for you guys. But we'll get more information coming up soon, obviously, I'd assume there. All right, Yusuf said, are you going to first type in the 22 orders or the 23, or there is no specific order? My order said 23 to 20 conversion is automatic. True or false? No, you're okay. So a lot of dealers think it's going to work the way it has been in the past, and it's not true. Ford, the brand manager, Ford reps, our zone rep has said this. We're going to have to put in those 22 orders that don't get scheduled. We're going to have to put them in as 23 orders. So you will have to put those, the dealer will have to put those in manually. They will not get just pushed and automatically transferred over. Dealers that think that's going to happen is going to be behind, and they're not going to get that. We are supposed to get information on prioritizing our orders within the next week to 2 weeks is what we heard. So when we get that information, we'll probably figure that out. I would hope that that our 22, they're going to have a great process in order to prioritize that we don't have to put those in first necessarily. But if we don't get any information that that's going to happen, we plan to put our 22 orders in first, and then any new 23s after that. So that's our goal. We're going to, of course, all the managers are going to work on that to where we're going to, between us, we're going to divide those orders and get those orders submitted and put in there, the 22s in first before we do any new 23s. So my plan is that week before. Actually, now I could start on it now. Is start printing off the orders, those sheets, so that we can go ahead and get those, be ready, so we can put those orders in first, and then before the 23s. So unless Ford surprises us and has a really good system in place for that, for prioritizing orders, and we'll just have to see. Like I said, I ordered from McArthur, and everything Tim mentioned for ordering is spot on. Trustworthy dealership. Try to be. Hopefully I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not one of those that will tell you this is the way you should do it and then not do it. Of course, we do have 18 sales guys, and we go over this information with them. I guess if they're not paying attention, then that could happen, and there could be a lapse in that. But if you ever have an issue with us, with any of that, just say, hey, can I talk to Tim? So I'll always take care of you. I can't take and handle every order through the process. But if you are having issues with your current salesperson at any point, really haven't had too many issues with that here at the dealership. We have a good group of sales guys. Then always reach out to me. You can see my email addresses on the screen. You can always reach out to me. I do recommend you try to go with your salesperson, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to be able to get back to you a lot quicker than I will. I always have voicemails, especially after the live streams, for a bunch of voicemails. In fact, some of you have probably I've been talking to Sarah, because she's been helping me out. She's in the live stream. She knows what I'm discussing and talking about. She's able to hedge off a lot of the different questions that we get, and everything, and help people, so that I can focus in on the people that have orders with us, and help them. All right, Kathy said, will you do a live at the party at Salina? Tons of pictures and yes. So I'd like to do, probably what I'm going to do is maybe a couple different live streams at the Maverick event. So I plan to, of course, walk around and show you. It's something I do for my members every week. I do a lot walk with them, and I'll do that probably at the event for everybody. So, and then probably do something special for my members there. But so that way you can kind of have some fun and see that. So we'll do a live stream probably once we see more of the cars roll in, maybe around noon that day, and do a live stream and do and walk through and see the vehicles and everything, that kind of thing. And then we'll probably do something else as well later, and get pictures and that kind of thing as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. So 4 High, 4 Low said, I have a 22 Bronco order without a VIN or build date. Will this automatically be switched to 23? And is there anything you suggest that I do? So what I've been talking about for the Maverick actually is duplicated. It's identical to the Bronco as well. So I know I've been focusing on the Maverick just because there's probably going to be more of those that roll over, but Bronco is the same way. So the orders will have 22 orders that do not get scheduled will have to be put in as 23s as well. So once we get, and that's going to be actually a couple weeks later, August 15th is when that'll happen. So it'll actually correspond, and we'll have a little bit of chance. So we'll be able to see on the Maverick how that situation and what's going to work, so that we'll be able to do that for our orders for our Bronco as well. But that it's going to be done the same way as well. So we'll have to put in the 22 unscheduled orders as 23s too. And hopefully dealerships are, tuned into that. Hopefully dealerships are paying attention, getting that information from the Ford reps. All right, Robert said, hi, Tim. Are you having to take care of the recent recall before delivers Mavericks hybrid? Yes. Before they call those a stop sale, which means that we have to have the recall done before they can be sold. So yes, that has to be done on those vehicles. So I think I actually had one of those on my Lightning. I think the tire pressure recall on my Lightning had to be done before I took delivery of it, but they did it right away. So some of those recalls don't take as long. They just sometimes it's just checking the vehicles over, and if there's not any issues, then there's nothing they have to put on. Then they can just be done with the recall. So I know somebody had asked about recalls and how that process is usually you reach out to the dealership to schedule that vehicle to be brought in for that recall. They can see your VIN number, and they can see that you're on the recall list, and they can take care of it. So yeah, so that's usually how that works. Let's see here. I think I actually missed some questions up here. I scrolled down and thought I was done, caught up. Charles said, thanks for the pins and koozies. Don't tell people what they get. make them become members. Not just kidding. So yes, in fact, we have actually a new member perk video that's up that Sarah recorded for me today. So I put her in charge of that, and she's really taken on the membership perks and such. And so she did a video, and kind of an introduction for people that are thinking about doing a member. There's a video. Watch that video. Talks a little bit about it. And then we're going to have another video that she has for members, because I usually spend like the first 5 minutes at the beginning of every Saturday lot walk talking about member perks. So I said, you know, let's just do a video that they can just have it in the link in the description for all new members. So we'll do that. So if you're a new member, several of them tonight, make sure you check out some of our most recent videos, and you'll check those perks out. So it's kind of cool. All right, good question, Mitch. Mark Mitchell. Oh yeah, what was that question? Here, would there be a markup on a Maverick order if I pay cash and do not trade anything in? No markup. The price of the vehicle is not dictated on whether you finance or whether or not you have a trade. We'll be selling at MSRP regardless of that. If you want the free shipping and such, you'll need to finance. Trade. It's really up to you. So, all right. All right, Nathan said, keep getting skipped. Do you know what the hybrid rates will be? It looks like the summer rates are only for EcoBoost. Yes, we don't know on the hybrid, so I don't know if they're not going to have special rates. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I don't know what they were thinking there. But all right, so Charles said, good evening. What Maverick package has been the most popular? XLT plus Lux or Lariat plus Lux? What would be the best balanced package? We're probably seeing the most people with the XLT with the Lux, because that's kind of the mid-level, there. So, but we are seeing a lot of people get the Lariat Lux too. The thing of it is that, people are looking at it as they can get a Lariat with the luxury package and still be, 32, I think. Which, if you compare that to, that's equivalent to price of an Escape SE that has cloth seats, and not near the features. So it's with it starting so low, you can actually load up some of those packages and still be cheaper than some of the other vehicles out there. Well, let's look at the Santa Cruz, for instance. Santa Cruz starts at like $25,000, right? Well, you can go XLT Lux package and be around 25, and you're more well equipped than a Santa Cruz is, and you're hybrid with better fuel economy. So, so that's what's great about that, is that you can get some nice features in there, or, especially people that are out there looking for, a cheaper SUV. They're looking upper 20s. Well, now they can get a Maverick that gets better fuel economy, has a bed, and actually more well, and you can put in some different nice convenience features there that you wouldn't normally have had on a cheaper SUV, right? So, all right, so I caught the Lightning delivery live, but have you made another video on it? No, I have not. Been a little busy. I plan to. I want to do some of my own videos. So I am actually getting, while I'm gone, we're gonna have a spray and liner put in there, and I'm gonna have the clear coat done. My son-in-law actually does that. So he's Sarah's husband actually does our clear coats here at the dealership. So he will be putting the clear coat on Friday while I'm gone, and Thursday we'll get the spray and liner put in. So, and I still am going to get a bed cover for it as well. I ordered that. We didn't have any in stock, but we'll get that on there as soon as we can. But yeah, I'll be doing some videos. I actually did, if you're a member, you did see it get a walk around. I guess I should say that. I actually did record one video for our members. So if you're a member, you did get to see in the Saturday lot walk. You did get to see a walk around, pretty good detailed one really, on the F-150 Lightning. But yeah, so we'll be doing some videos because I want to do some for the McArthur channel. So we'll be doing some video walkarounds on them soon. Just so many videos that I need to get done and get worked out. But yes, we will be doing some videos on it as well. So Michael said, are there delays on the car carriers? My Maverick was built 5/11 and shipped, but I have been pushed back twice. Now I'm told delivery expected is 7/26 to 8/1. Yes, we are seeing some delays. Not only getting on the rail. Well, my Expedition's a great one to look at. It was released from the plant over a month ago, and it took a month just to get on a rail car. So it just depends on what factory in. The ones down in Mexico are getting on pretty quickly, but we're seeing a little bit of a lull getting them off the rails at the different places, like in Kansas City. the rail yards and such, that is sometimes taking a while. And then also setting up car carriers to get them from there, from the rail yards to the dealership. So that is taking a while. And sometimes they get overlooked for no reason at all. So it's hard to tell. Rich says, I have a VIN for my Lightning. Awesome. So I called the marketing department for my build date, which was 8/22. I know it can move around some, so when can I expect the finalized build date to be set? Usually a couple weeks prior to that. So what will happen is you get closer to that when, let's say you get about a week to 10 days out from that 8/22 date. If it hasn't moved, then you'll get an email saying that it's going into production or being sent to the plant. And that's when you'll be able to see your window sticker as well. So usually when it gets a little bit closer. Make sure I didn't miss any comments. Oh, sorry if I'm missing any here. There we go, got that one. All right, Larry G of Alabama said, will Farm Bureau credit carry over to 23 if delivery doesn't happen until then? So what happens on Farm Bureau is you have to be a Farm Bureau member from either when you order the vehicle or when the vehicle comes in. So again, using either the protect date or the sale date, but you have to be a member. So we've seen some people where they ordered the vehicle in 2021, but waited, became a Farm Bureau member in 22, and then when they went to go do their paperwork on their vehicle, they used the protect date. At that time, they were not a Farm Bureau member. So you need to be a member either then or when you take delivery. So if you are a current member in 22, and yours gets pushed, let's say to be a 23 delivery, you'll need to be a Farm Bureau member in 23 as well to get that. So you know that. Yes, use Law McArthur in front of it. A couple people are spelling Law McArthur differently, so I don't see it. It pops up orange on my screen. All right, so EMGT, I was able to see yours. It says, I'm not sure if this was answered. Are the 23 model year Maverick and Bronco ordering dates on the same date? No. Bronco Sport and Maverick are on the same date. In fact, see, I had a sheet here that had all of them listed, the ones that are coming up. As part of the promo deal coming up, we have, okay, let me see, 8/2, we have the Maverick, we have Bronco Sport, Ranger was moved to that day. Here it is. Edge is that day, Explorer is that day. Yeah, so we got all those. So Maverick, Bronco Sport, Explorer, Edge, and Ranger. So 5 different model lineups are opening that day. 8/15, Transit Connect, and Bronco Mach-E are all on the 15th. So yeah, busy times. Yeah, and yeah, I do make sure you spell Law McArthur correctly, because that's why I'm not seeing it orange. So if I'm missing yours, I'm sorry about that. Oh, and sometimes it just gets skipped. My screen skips because so many comments come in at once. All right, so we got Tim here, says, on the Ford Authority Maverick Tremor, do you think that's the avalanche color? Let's see here. Go in there. You know, it's either that or cactus gray. I don't think it's quite light enough. I think that's cactus gray, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that might be cactus gray, not avalanche. So yeah, I don't know. It might be. I think that's cactus gray, not avalanche, but it's hard to tell. So all right. Jimmy said, what is latest can put in for courtesy delivery? Received a VIN yesterday. It has to be before it gets scheduled, before you get a VIN. So any unscheduled orders, you can put a drop ship in there for those orders. So I will say sometimes that's a little, we like to do that for our customers, because some dealers, you know, if they're like, well, why don't you just order from us and that kind of thing. And so you kind of get a hang up there. That way we can call, smooth things over. We have kind of a good word track for helping with that, you know, and that kind of thing. So we do. We like to do that for our customers. If you're doing a courtesy delivery, I have said we have some sales guys that says I'm not doing any courtesy deliveries because they have had some fights with some of those dealers and getting it taken care of. We've had we've had some that the vehicle was there. We've done paperwork and everything, and on our end, we were done, ready to go. And we call the dealer and say, hey, yeah, they're ready to be picked up. And they said, well, you're just going to have to wait because we haven't set that one up yet. So it'll get set up after we set up the rest of ours. Then we'll take care of yours. And so we've seen that. And dealer in Hawaii, we heard some things where they didn't clean the vehicle. They says, yeah, we just they set it up. They did the regular PDI, but they didn't clean it. They didn't take any of the stickers off the side. They didn't. It just was dirty, and everything else. They didn't do that, even though we pay for that. The fee pays for a PDI and a car wash and a full tank of gas. And we've had some that they didn't give me a tank of gas. Some of them that the customer was a little ways away and they says, nope, you got to come get it. They wouldn't transport it. I mean, some of them have been difficult to work with. So some of our guys are a little worn from that, and they'd rather just have it shipped out from here, just because of some of those issues with some of those dealers. So some of them are great to work with, but some of them are they're not so fun to work with. So, but you can add that as long as it's an unscheduled order, you can have that. So Eugene, thank you for becoming a member. See that there. So appreciate that. All right. What is yeah. And then will there be a 23 Bronco Everglades or 22 still available? Well, I assume any Everglade, I assume probably will, because if the 22 doesn't get built, surely they have to be able to build it in 23, because in the Everglades and the Bronco Raptors, I believe, were people that if theirs didn't get scheduled, they could put on a list to get those packages, as well as the Haas 3.0 if they had a wild track. And so I would assume those are going to be available in 23 as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. So again, until the order guide comes out, we don't know for sure. All right, another Brian said, I put an order in with you guys on a transit. Do you have allocation, or am I relying on COVP for scheduling? We'll get allocations. Oh, yeah, we don't have any allocations on transit this month. Usually what happens is when an order gets put in, there's a snapshot that they look at of seeing that order, that COVP order, on the 15th of the month. So if it's after well, actually, I think yours was put in before that. But if just depends, well, yeah, it's looking at the 15th of this month for the beginning of next month. So you'll probably be looked at for scheduling for August. And since we have very few, it would just be whether or not we get an allocation. So again, we're a larger dealership when it comes to Maverick and some other vehicles, but when it comes to transit, we're a small dealership in that sense, because we don't do a lot of transit orders and Transit Connect orders. So in that sense, we're a small transit dealer, whereas there's dealers in Kansas City that do a bunch of transit orders, and they're a larger transit dealer. And so they're going to get a lot more allocations than we will. So we might struggle to get that allocation fulfilled for that order the first month, but we'll just have to see. So we'll see when it comes, and when that happens. So we'll try to do the best we can there, Brian. So I appreciate you putting that order in. I know that you had that with another dealer, so I appreciate that. All right, David said, hi, Tim. I sent a 22 build sheet for my 23 order to McArthur. It's been a week and no salesperson has contacted me. Should I call in or wait a little longer? Did you email it to me or to our BDC? So that's that. Then they're handed out. So, and I'll admit I can tell you right now, I have 116 emails, Eugene. So I'm unread emails. So let me, like I said, the last 2 days, and you said it was last week, but I would have taken care of last week's already. So yeah, definitely email me at the the sales email address there, your build, and I'll make sure we get that. Tomorrow is the day I'm going to be going through those pretty much all day and getting those done. Well, not all day. I need to record videos too. Well, we'll get them done. We'll shoot them out, and if I need to have Sarah help me with that, I will. But we'll get those out. But the thing is, we have a couple weeks, so that would probably be my fault that it hasn't been gotten to a sales guy yet. They do reach out the same day. So, but yeah, definitely email me though. Why did they file for title after truck was almost to the dealer? Need no more context there, Russ. Why did they file for title after truck was almost to my dealer? Not sure what that's regarding. May not be able to help you out on that one. So, yeah, I'm not sure. All right, Kathy said, I read where some paint guys who do the clear coat protection, they say take the truck delivered dirty and let them do the cleaning because they are so particular and to fix it fix afterward. Yeah, I would say that. I mean, I know that for here they said, we definitely want to do the spray and liner before they do the clear coat, just so that he can clean it up perfectly and everything before they add the clear coat to it. So, all right, shout out to Mike Mull who follows through all steps mentioned. Yes, he does. All right, Kathy said, what's a BDC? Business Development Center, so a call center in a sense. So they handle all of our internet leads, internet requests. If somebody goes on our website, as well as any phone calls coming to the dealership. So I was actually the BDC manager for years, and then I started helping out and doing more internet, more related stuff, starting doing videos and such. And we have a great BDC manager that takes care of that. So good BDC manager and 4 great coordinators in there that do a great job of following up and making sure the guys are following up as well. So we have it set up to where they actually, in a sense, micromanage the sales guys. So if you're struggling with, one of your sales guys following up with you, definitely get to our call center, and they will make sure that one of our sales managers make sure they follow up. But that shouldn't happen. We shouldn't have any issues with that. So when you talk to the Roush guys, I'm a 50s, 60s guy. I would like a lowering kit. And as long as I'm asking for the Moon, how about fender skirts for the Maverick? Throw that in there. We'll mention that. Actually, I do think they want to do a sport truck type look. I know that Ford's probably coming out with one, but, we'll see. Do you know if Ford releases the order guides before or on the date of the order banks open? On the F-150 on Monday, it was 2 hours before the order banks opened. So the order banks didn't open until 3:30 our time, and the order guides came out like two hours before that. So yeah, not real cool. So do even small dealers have a BDC? No. I didn't chat with them. Yeah. So most dealerships don't have a BDC always. They may have a team that handles the internet department, and they may take care of most of their requests and such, internet leads, requests, and that kind of thing. That's why when Ford has this system, like we talked about, where they would send that request into another dealer, or they send the request in, the dealer contacts them. Half the time the dealers won't contact them because they didn't have a department like we have. And then it's just like giving a salesperson. Sometimes they get busy, then it got, put under all their other paperwork, so it's hard to tell. So, all right, I think I'm to the last question. Yay. I like to catch, I don't like to be behind, but yet I want to have questions too. So, all right. Any other questions for me? We'll get off the live stream here, but thank you guys for all your questions, and we'll be trying to get to. And I know we have a lot of orders in with us, and so I do need to get those filtered over to the pass out to sales guys, and I apologize for that, but I'll get on that tomorrow, and definitely. I think it was it David in there that definitely make sure you send that over to me so that we get that. Yeah, David, I'll look for that, but I probably have it, to be honest. But I thought I had all of last week's taken care of. But if it was like on Friday of last week, I may not have. I think I gave most of those out on Wednesday and Thursday of last week. And so if you put that in Friday or Saturday or since Friday, then it probably had not been given out to someone. So we'll get that taken care of as soon as possible. So anything else? All right. Well, hopefully this did help you out. Hopefully I try to come up with a different topic each week to help out dealers as well as customers working with dealers to make things go a little bit easier. So hopefully the tips tonight helped out and will help you in your search and order that's coming up soon. Hopefully we see a lot of you guys at the event. I'm really looking forward to the event, and a lot of cool stuff happening. This week we'll be at Roush. I'll be going to Roush. Next week we'll be getting things ready because we're just a couple weeks away from the 8-2 order guides opening up, order banks opening up. So really looking forward to that and getting those orders in and how the system's going to work. Should get a lot of information the next couple weeks when it comes to this stuff for not only the Maverick but the other model lineup. So looking forward to it, having some big things happening. So definitely, if you're coming to the Maverick event, also it's going to be a fun time too. So hopefully as many of you can come as possible. And otherwise, we'll do some videos so you guys can see what it's like. So you can hopefully come next year and plan ahead for that too. So anyway, any other questions? Going once, going twice. I know it's actually on a delay, so I'm actually waiting 10 seconds to make sure there's no questions. But all right, so we do have one last one. We'll use my Ford Video Guy ink pen to sign my Maverick deal, and we'll send a picture. That's awesome. That'd be great. Is there a 2023 that is easy to get over another F-150, Maverick, Bronco? F-150, if you're thinking of it, they build 68,000 of those a month, it seems like. So they build a lot of F-150s, 2 different plants. So if you're wanting to get something quicker, F-150 maybe. Also the models that probably are less looked at, like we were just looking, when we were looking up the ones that were scheduled this week, we noticed there were a lot that we didn't have any retail orders in. All of them have been scheduled. It's because we just don't get as many of those orders. So it depends on the dealer. Some dealers get a lot more than other dealers at those places. So, and on a Maverick, you want to look at a very simple build. Don't add a bunch of those different packages on there, and that will help it as well. So just depends on what you're looking for. So, all right. So right on time, Tim. Just done with my popcorn. Thank you for all you do. Thanks, Joel. All right. Well, guys, thank you for all the questions. Thank you for the attending and watching with me here. I think I have a great audience in here coming in on the live streams every week, so I do appreciate you guys. I appreciate watching the live stream, and we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget, I won't be on the live stream on Facebook on Thursday night. But we'll be going live from the Roush plant, if they let me, and going over some things there on our Facebook page over on our Long McArthur Performance. We have a special one over there for that. So if you want to check out some of the Roush stuff, you can check that out. And want to thank all the new members, all the new subscribers. And if you're not subscribed, don't forget to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell down there. Looking for the button for that. There you go. So make sure you're doing that if you're not subscribed, so you can be up to date on that. And don't forget, if you want to re-listen to these questions, podcast is going to be available on your favorite podcasting channels. And until next week, we'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot.